What's up, Steelers Nation? Welcome back to the channel. The Pittsburgh Steelers are pushing hard to refine their game and improve every week as they chase after better results, and there's a lot to talk about today. With key updates surrounding Aaron Rodgers' injury, Mike Tomlin's passionate defense of Jaylen Ramsey, and the fallout from that intense altercation with Jamar Chase, there's no shortage of drama. Before we dive into all that, I need you to hit that like button right now. It helps the channel grow and ensures that more Steelers fans can get in on the conversation. Trust me, every like counts. Now, let's dive right into it because today's news is big. First up, the injury that has everyone talking, Aaron Rodgers. The Pittsburgh Steelers confirmed that Rodgers suffered a significant left wrist fracture in the 34-2 win against the Cincinnati Bengals. The injury looked pretty bad when it happened. Rodgers was taken down by multiple defenders late in the first half, and you could immediately see him grabbing his wrist in pain. It was clear he wasn't comfortable. But here's the surprising part. Mike Tomlin hasn't ruled Rodgers out for Week 24 against the Chicago Bears just yet. That's right, Rodgers may still play. Tomlin said the biggest challenge will be figuring out how to brace the wrist in a way that provides both comfort and safety. The key here is that it's his non-throwing hand, which changes the dynamic of the injury. Tomlin mentioned that Rodgers' experience could play a big role here, noting he doesn't need a lot of physical work to be ready to play. That's an understatement. Rodgers is a four-time MVP, and he's been in the game long enough that he could probably run the offense in his sleep. If he feels that he can grip the ball cleanly and execute the plays without too much pain, you know he'll push to get out there. Reports indicate that Rodgers is lobbying to play, but the Steelers need to be responsible. They can't take any chances with his health, especially as they head into a critical part of the season. In the meantime, backup quarterback Mason Rudolph has been taking first-team reps in practice. Rudolph is a steady, experienced backup who's well-respected in the locker room, and we all know he can lead the team if needed. But here's the thing. Rodgers has exceeded expectations this season. Through the first 10 games, he's thrown for 1,969 yards, 19 touchdowns, and just 7 interceptions. More importantly, he's led the Steelers to a 6-4 record, keeping them at the top of the AFC North. However, with the Baltimore Ravens closing in at 5-5, the Steelers can't afford to slip. Every game matters now, and the team is in a tight playoff race. So while Rodgers could still play, Tomlin and the staff have to be careful. The Steelers need to weigh whether Rodgers will be able to handle the physical demands of the game, from gripping the ball to absorbing hits. It's a tough call, but with the playoff race tightening, the Steelers can't afford a drop-off in performance. Next, let's talk about the major drama surrounding Jaylen Ramsey and Jamar Chase. The game between the Steelers and Bengals on Sunday featured a lot of heated moments, but things escalated when Ramsey threw a punch and got ejected. At first, it seemed like just another case of AFC North rivalry energy, but then Ramsey revealed something shocking. Jamar Chase had spit in his face. Chase initially denied it, but then video footage came to light, showing very clearly that Chase had, in fact, spat on Ramsey. That crossed a major line. On Tuesday, Tomlin was asked about the incident and how he had addressed it with Ramsey. His response? "I have no message if someone spits in your face. Do what comes natural." That's about as strong as it gets, and it's clear that Tomlin has Ramsey's back. Initially, Tomlin had criticized Ramsey for throwing the punch, but once the full story came out, his tone shifted completely. The NFL backed Tomlin up by suspending Chase for 1 game, while Ramsey received no additional punishment. That decision alone tells you everything you need to know. The league recognized that Chase's actions went too far. Tomlin also made it clear that spitting has no place in football. It's disrespectful, and it's just a line you don't cross. The Steelers-Bengals rivalry was already intense, but now it's personal. These teams won't meet again this season, but when they do face off again next year, it's going to be a game to remember. Ramsey will definitely have that moment burned into his memory, and the next time these two teams square off, expect sparks to fly. Now, let's discuss the moment when Ramsey got ejected. At the time, the Steelers were leading by 11 points, but the Bengals were driving into Pittsburgh territory and had started to build some momentum. When Ramsey got tossed, it could have been a momentum shift in the Bengals' favor. But what did the Steelers' defense do? They stepped up and shut it down. The defense held the Bengals to just a field goal on that drive, forced a fumble on the next possession, and then scored a defensive touchdown. To close out the game, they finished with a turnover on downs. The defense didn't panic. Instead, they rallied together and played like they had something to prove. They played for Ramsey, played with discipline, and most importantly, they played with intensity. That's the kind of defensive identity that Steelers fans love to see. It's that next man up mentality, and it shows just how tough this team is. It wasn't just about avenging Ramsey, it was about proving that this defense is for real. Pittsburgh didn't just get revenge for the earlier loss to the Bengals. They came out and sent a loud, clear message to the rest of the league. The Steelers are a team to be reckoned with. On a more positive note, there's some good news on the injury front. Mike Tomlin confirmed during his press conference that linebacker Cole Holcomb could be nearing a return to action, and veteran cornerback Darius Slay is trending in the right direction as well. Normally, this would be fantastic news. Having Slay back to team up with Joey Porter Jr. would give the Steelers a deadly secondary. But here's the twist. James Pierre has stepped up and been one of the hottest defenders on the roster. He's been playing out of his mind, and now the Steelers might be in a position where they have to bench him in favor of Slay. It's a tough call. Pierre has been absolutely lights out, especially against one of the best passing offenses in the league. You don't shut down Jamar Chase by accident. Pierre's earned a role on this defense, and taking him off the field now would be a mistake. Tomlin himself acknowledged Pierre's strong performance, but made it clear that if Slay is healthy, he's going to play. It's a decision based on loyalty to veterans and the Steelers' overall hierarchy. But in today's NFL, sometimes you need to ride the hot hand. Pierre is that hot hand right now. He's shown he can perform at a high level under pressure, and keeping him on the field could make a real difference. Taking him off now could end up costing the Steelers in the long run. So, what are the key takeaways from all of this? First, Aaron Rodgers could still play on Sunday. The fact that the injury is to his non-throwing hand gives him a real chance, but the Steelers have to assess whether he can truly handle the physical demands. Second, Mason Rudolph is a reliable backup who the team believes can step in and still get the job done. Third, Mike Tomlin will always defend his players, and he made it crystal clear that Ramsey has his full support. Fourth, the Ramsey-Chase rivalry is now a major storyline in the AFC North and one to keep an eye on for the years to come. And finally, the Steelers are 6-4 and still in control of their destiny, but they can't afford any slip-ups. Every game matters from here on out. Steelers Nation, I want to hear from you. Should the Steelers let Aaron Rodgers play through the wrist fracture, or is it time to give Mason Rudolph the start for Week 24? And how do you feel about Mike Tomlin's defense of Jaylen Ramsey after that spitting incident with Jamar Chase? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I always read your feedback. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for tuning in,